Briefing on Bravo has exclusively obtained photos of RHOBH star Erika, 53, getting very close to the 54-year-old Iraq and Afghanistan war veteran, who is also called Shrek, while running errands in Los Angeles on July 7. Erika ditched her usual designer clothes and full glam for a t-shirt, jeans, and sneakers with a hat and no makeup on the outing. John, who is also known as the Sheriff of Baghdad, wore a Slaughter Things shirt, cargo shorts, and Crocs. Erika looked comfortable and at ease as she strolled through the parking lot with a black clutch in her hand. While she has said she's dated here and there, Erika hasn't gotten serious with anyone since her split from husband Tom Girardi 5 years ago. Though she filed for divorce in November 2020, the case was never finalized as he battled multiple lawsuits, a criminal embezzlement case, and Alzheimer's disease. Disgraced former attorney Tom was recently sentenced to 87 months in federal prison for embezzling millions from his clients. Erika was cleared of any wrongdoing in the case. John's challenging past. John, a former member of the U.S. Army's elite Delta Force, recently admitted to being divorced several times in the past. He told Megyn Kelly in a May 2025 interview, "I started out married at 9 elements. I've been divorced several times. It's a hard life. I think it's a hard life because nobody understands your level of commitment. And I say that in a way that you're choosing something that might cause your death over and over, people don't see that as rational. But they don't understand. So I always say being married was like being in prison. You could call home, but you ain't going there anytime soon. That's how marriage works in the Army. When you deploy to war, you can call home, you get your one call, can all once a week, you ain't going home. And that's tough on everybody. Only guys who have perfect relationships, their marriages survive the war. And I'd say the bulk of guys end up divorced." It appears Erika and John met through their shared love of jiu-jitsu, a Japanese martial art. Erika started taking martial arts classes in 2021, Briefing on Bravo reported at the time. She was worried about her safety as she coped with Tom's legal battles and online trolls. John has said jiu-jitsu helped him with his blood pressure and joints. "You look healthier than ever," he boasted his doctor told him in a recent interview. John does not appear to have any children, while Erika is the mother of her police officer's son Tommy Zizzo, 32. Erika is currently filming the new season of RHOBH, where her new man is sure to be a topic of conversation. The Los Angeles sun, a relentless golden eye, beat down on the sprawling parking lot. It was the kind of heat that usually demanded a full face of makeup and a carefully chosen ensemble for Erika Girardi, Eka. Erika Jayne, the platinum blonde, diamond-encrusted enigma of Beverly Hills. But today, July 7th, was different. Today, Erika was just Erika. She wore faded jeans, a simple black tee that hugged her frame without fanfare, and a baseball cap pulled low, shadowing eyes usually framed by expertly applied liner and lashes. Her hair, typically a sculpted masterpiece, was tucked carelessly beneath the cap. No glam, no fuss, just sneakers and a small black clutch held loosely in her left hand. It was an outfit designed for anonymity, for ease, for a rare moment of unburdened normalcy. And in her right hand, nestled comfortably, was another hand. A large, calloused hand, belonging to a man whose presence was as unassuming as her own attire, yet radiated a quiet, formidable strength. John, or as he was known in certain circles, Shrek. And to those who knew his legend, the Sheriff of Baghdad. John, at 54, was a year older than Erika's 53, and his outfit mirrored her casual defiance of Hollywood expectations. Cargo shorts, a Slaughter Things t-shirt, and the ultimate emblem of laid-back comfort, Crocs. He moved with the easy, grounded gait of a man who had walked through hell and back countless times. His presence was a stark contrast to the opulent, often volatile world Erika inhabited, Yet beside him, she looked, for the first time in a long time, truly at ease. 5 years. 5 years since she'd filed for divorce from Tom Girardi, the man who had once been her rock, her provider, her entry into a life of unimaginable luxury, only to crumble into a devastating public scandal. The divorce, never finalized, had hung over her like a dark cloud, intertwined with Tom's descent into Alzheimer's, his criminal embezzlement charges, and the relentless scrutiny that had stripped away her public persona, leaving her vulnerable and exposed. She had been cleared of wrongdoing, a small victory in a war that had cost her everything but her spirit. But the scars remained etched deep. She had dated here and there, as she'd admitted. Brief, tentative forays into a landscape forever altered by betrayal and public humiliation. Nothing serious. How could it be? Trust was a fragile thing, shattered into a million pieces and painstakingly, slowly being reassembled. Every new face was viewed through a lens of suspicion, every kind gesture weighed against the bitter memory of what had been. But John was different. Their hands, clasped together, spoke volumes. It wasn't a possessive grip, nor a tentative touch. It was a natural, comfortable intertwining, the kind that develops between two people who have found an unexpected solace in each other's company. As they strolled through the parking lot, the mundane task of running errands transformed into a quiet ballet of shared space, a bubble of peace amidst the LA bustle. Erika glanced at him, a soft, almost imperceptible smile playing on her lips. John, sensing her gaze, met her eyes, a flicker of something ancient and knowing passing between them. He wasn't bothered by the lack of glam, the casual clothes. In fact, he seemed to prefer it. He saw Erika, not Erika Jayne. Their paths, on the surface, couldn't have been more divergent. She, a pop star, a reality TV icon, a woman who had built an empire on glitz and illusion. He, a former member of the U.S. Army's elite Delta Force, a man forged in the crucible of war, his life defined by commitment, sacrifice, and the brutal realities of combat. The Sheriff of Baghdad wasn't a nickname earned for his fashion sense or his ability to throw a good party. John's past was a landscape of deployments, of life or death decisions, of a commitment so profound it had swallowed everything else. He'd spoken about it with Megyn Kelly just a couple of months prior, in May 2025. I started out married at 9 elephants. I've been divorced several times, he'd admitted, his voice carrying the weight of experience. It's a hard life. I think it's a hard life because nobody understands your level of commitment. His words echoed in Erika's mind, resonating with a strange familiarity. You're choosing something that might cause your death over and over. People don't see that as rational. She hadn't faced death on a battlefield, but she had faced a public execution, a character assassination played out on national television and social media. Her commitment, though different, had also been misunderstood, judged, and relentlessly scrutinized. Being married was like being in prison, he'd said of his military marriages. You could call home, but you ain't going there anytime soon. That's how marriage works in the Army. When you deploy to war, you can call home, you get your one call, can all once a week, you ain't going home, and that's tough on everybody. Only guys who have perfect relationships, their marriages survive the war, and I'd say the bulk of guys end up divorced. Erika understood the feeling of being trapped, of being unable to go home, even when physically present. The gilded cage of her former life had become a prison of its own making, a beautiful facade crumbling under the weight of secrets and lies. She had been on a different kind of deployment, fighting a different kind of war, but the isolation, the relentless pressure, the feeling of being cut off from the world she once knew, she knew it well. Their unlikely connection, it seemed, wasn't born in the glittering halls of Beverly Hills or the exclusive clubs of Hollywood. It was forged on the mats of a jiu-jitsu studio. Erika had started taking martial arts classes in 2021, a direct response to the chaos engulfing her life. Briefing on Bravo had reported it then. She was worried about her safety as Tom's legal battles escalated and the online trolls sharpened their digital knives. She needed to feel strong, capable, in control of her own body when so much else was spiraling out of control. John, too, had found solace in the ancient Japanese martial art. For him, it wasn't about safety from external threats, but from the internal ones that plagued veterans. Jiu-jitsu helped him with his blood pressure and joints, the reports said. He boasted to his doctor, "You look healthier than ever." It was a testament to the discipline, the focus, the physical and mental exertion that pushed out the demons of the past. On the mats, stripped of their public personas, they were just two individuals seeking equilibrium, pushing their bodies, learning to defend themselves. The shared sweat, the quiet focus, the mutual respect for the art form, it was fertile ground for a connection to bloom. There, Erika wasn't a reality star, and John wasn't a war hero. They were just students, partners, equals.